What's up? It's Tony back with another episode of the ItsTony podcast. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We just recently hit 30 subscribers. So thank you for everybody that's watching. Thank you for everybody that's telling their friends and telling their friends to tell their friends. I appreciate it. Now we on our road to 50. We got 30. Now let's get to 50. Thank you for watching. And today we're going to start with, why are people making being junkies or being addicts look so cool? So I'm on Twitter just scrolling today, and I see that somebody is like open up a brand new Whippet. Like, you know, the things that I don't know what they inhaling, but they inhaling some sort of gas. And they making it look cool. Like all the Whippets, they got like these different colors on it. And even with weed, they make it weed look cool. And like, it's basically like advertising it to everybody. Because if you make it look cool, you know kids are going to want to do it. That's why a bunch of kids, I was in a park one time and I seen a kid, she might have been like 8 to 10 years old. She was smoking a fucking vape. So if you see little kids smoking vapes because they want to look cool and stuff like that, and the vape look cool, it got a nice color, what you think they're going to do when they see these Whippets? And I'm like, why are y'all making being junkies so cool? Like, why y'all making it look so cool? I understand some people smoke weed, and even with the weed, I don't like how they making it look cool. Like, niggas putting it in crayon boxes and stuff like that. Okay, it's mad people smoke weed. It's like normal, but the way you make it look more cool, like putting cartoon characters on it and stuff, it's advertisement for kids. And you might say, oh, you're wildin' or whatever, but bro, niggas is collecting Whippets. Niggas is collecting those little cartons or whatever they doing with the advertisement for weed. You don't think kids are going to want to, yo, let me just try it. It looks cool. Everybody I know has been doing it. And I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just saying, stop making this shit look so cool, bro. I seen a literal post on Twitter where a person had like 30 Whippets in their fucking crib. Why? Do whatever drug you want to do, but don't advertise it to little kids until they're old enough to do it, because that's what they did with vapes. They made it look cool. A whole bunch of people you see them smoking vapes and stuff and outside with vapes in their hand. Now you see, oh, a little kid, he gets the opportunity to get a vape, a cool little color, and now he's smoking vape. Bro, that shit is not cool. I don't care. Smoke your weed. If you're of age and you could do it and you know how to control yourself, smoke your weed. Why are we turning laughing gas into this new cool thing? And I'm not sure if it's laughing. I'm not sure what it is, but they're inhaling some sort of smoke out of the Whippet. The only thing that when I was a kid that I was inhaling was when you get the balloons and you inhale it so your voice could change. You doing that like to be funny and to just be a kid. You're not getting a fucking Whippet with different color on it, different camos and stuff to smoke with your friends and get high. Stop advertising being a junkie, being an addict onto kids and the youth too. Like, everybody don't need to be smoking. Some niggas can handle smoking, can handle drugs. Some of y'all niggas is smoking and y'all looking burnt out. Y'all looking bad. Kill that shit, bro. Everybody don't need to be smoking weed. Some of y'all niggas need to go to school and drink occasionally. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody need to be smoking and high all the time. The next thing I wanted to speak about is how Snoop Dogg is in Paris at the Olympics, and that nigga is fleecing the Olympics. He's fleecing whoever is running it, because they paying him $500K a day just to advertise the Olympics, just to like market and stuff. And he might be tired, like he might not want to go to all these things, but you know, if you're getting $500K a day, nigga, you gonna be there for 10 days just doing whatever they want you to do. This nigga just do mad side quests. And I'm wondering why he doing all these side quests. You just a rapper. This nigga is getting mad chicken. It's no way that he could have thought from being this gangster, being one of the pioneers of gangster rap, that he would end up 30 years later. Now he's cooking with Martha Stewart. Now he's at the Olympics, swimming with Michael Phelps and doing all this, like all these side quests. when you start to chase the bag, you start to get all these different paths of chasing the bag, and that's what he's doing. He got a new side quest, and he's getting mad chicken. 500K a day just to watch some sports. Some sports you don't even know. Some sports you're not even interested in. You just watching sports, and then some days you watching sports that you are interested in. Like 500K just to be a fan? Nigga, I'll do that shit for 10K. I'll do that shit for 5K, nigga. Give me 5K to be a fan. Nigga, I'll be at every performance, every game, everything, just to be a fan of a sport, nigga. This nigga Snoop has unlocked a new hustle. Every time I see this nigga do a side quest, I'm just gonna think, how much money is them niggas paying him? This nigga Snoop is a fucking genius. To continue with the Olympics, I want to talk about the recent statement that Satu Sabli has said about the WNBA and the prioritization rule. I know a lot of you might not know what I'm talking about, so you could probably skip maybe 5 minutes and I'll be done. But right now I'm talking about Satu Sabli. She's a WNBA player and she is currently playing for her national team, Germany. And the prioritization rule, it speaks about, in the simplest form, it's basically saying prioritize the WNBA all year round, or go to overseas and make way more money than the WNBA could pay you. But if you do that, you have to be back over in America to play in the WNBA before the season starts, and you have to be on time for training camp. And if you're not on time for training camp, you might jeopardize your ability to play that season. And Satu Sabli said that she doesn't like the rule. And I love Satu Sabli. She's one of my favorite players in the league. She's a dog, and she's been hurt in the beginning of the Dallas Wings season, so she hasn't been able to help them right now. But Satu Sabli is a dog. I love Satu Sabli, but I disagree with her. I believe that the prioritization rule is a smart rule as a business. WNBA, they're trying to make more money. They're trying to get the WNBA players more money. They can't give them more money, so in response to that, the WNBA players are going overseas. I understand the reasoning for the W players going overseas. All I'm saying is, as a business, the WNBA is what needs to be a priority. And as the people that's running that business, they want their players, their best players, to play in the W and play the whole season. That is the only way that the W will ever be able to gain more money and be able to stop their players from having to go overseas to play overseas. We already seen what can happen if you go overseas and certain rules you're not following. They could be Brittany Griner situations. So I'm siding with the WNBA on this. I believe that the prioritization is the smartest thing as a business you could do. Either tell your players to invest in the W full time, or you can go chase the bag, but just know when you go overseas, if you're chasing a bag over there, you're in jeopardy of not playing this season if you're not back on time. I feel like that's a compromise. I feel like that's allowing people to have the best of both worlds. Satu Sabli said it feels like the W is not in that much support of their international players, and I feel like that's a drag. I don't think it's wrong for the W to want players to prioritize the W. I think that players should invest into the W. I think the W is what matters most in all of these women's careers as basketball players. I can never be mad at somebody for wanting to chase a bag, so go chase a bag. But just know that sometimes when you go on to chase a bag, you run jeopardy of losing other opportunities. So you can't have everything. It's a agreement. It's a part of the CBA. It's a part of what they agreed to. The W found a way to get the W players more money, and they had to agree to certain things, and they agreed to the prioritization rule. I'm not saying that everything is peaches and cream in the W. I'm not saying that they always right. I think they do a lot of stuff. I think the commissioner is dumb. In my opinion, she does a lot of dumb stuff. I'm not a fan of expansion. I don't think that they pay their players enough now. Why would you expand? I think the players on certain teams, they don't even have good locker rooms. Why would you expand and put more stuff on the plate of the W. Why not just make what you're doing right now, the 14 teams you have, and just do that the best and make sure that you iron out all of the fucking flaws and errors in the W right now before you add more teams. That's just my opinion. So I'm not always agreeing with the W commissioner or what they do, but this I do agree with. This I do agree with. I just disagree with Satu Sabli on this, and I just think that people should invest in the W more. I think that players, I think that fans, I think that everybody should invest in the W more because it's a great product. Once the W finally gets the attention that it needs, y'all won't ever have to go overseas for any overseas basketball. All you will have to do is stay in the W, and you're going to get the endorsements. You're going to get the money from y'all selling out crowds. You're going to get everything that you deserve if you just invest in this market, if you just invest in this league. And I may be wrong, and you could tell me in the comments and bash me or whatever, but I stand on the side of the prioritization rule. I think it's smart. I just think that you should want to prioritize the W. I just believe that you should prioritize making a W as big as it can be over chasing a bag. That's what I believe. I'm not saying that anybody is wrong for wanting to chase a bag. Chase a bag if you want to, but just know that you run a risk of not being able to play in the season if you're late. Sports related, but more entertainment related, I want to speak about how Aaron Hernandez has like this short series that's coming out. And when I seen the news about it coming out, I just wondered, do killers and criminals, do they profit from people making their lives or telling their stories and making it into movies? I read some law, it said the Son of Sam law, that said that they can't profit off of the crimes that they did, but why can't they profit off the crimes that they did, but other people could profit off telling their stories? Also, so who profits the most from that? Because, for instance, with the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, do the victims get money from their stories being told, or do the victims' family get money from their stories being told? I think that there should be some sort of way that the people that did the crimes, the people that were hurt by the crimes, and their families should be profiting the most, or there should be like some percentage that they get from how successful the show or the movie does. Especially with the emotional damage that those shows and movies can put on the families and the victims. I just think that there's no way that somebody should be allowed to tell your story and you not be able to profit from it. And I'm saying that from the criminal side, and I'm saying that from the victims and the victim's family side. How you just going to take somebody's whole story, tell it, and you profit, but they don't profit from it? That don't seem like it's fair. But that's what I question from it. I heard of the story, and I don't really watch those. Like, I never watched the Jeffrey Dahmer thing because I'm just not interested in it. I never watched When They See Us. I'm not really a fan of those type of shows, in my opinion. I'm not really a fan of those. But I hope that the people that committed the crimes and the people that the crimes were done to, I believe that the people that created those stories and created the stories that people are turning into shows and movies, I believe that they should get some sort of profit. Even the criminals, even if you say, oh, the criminals don't get it, it's not rewarding them for being a criminal. I think it's rewarding them for telling their story. You're taking their literal story and you're making a show out of it. Why you couldn't just be creative and do your own thing? That's the problem with copying other people's stuff or trying to take from somebody else's story or somebody else's idea. You should have to pay the person that you're taking their idea, their story. You should have to pay them for taking their stuff. Even if what they did was wrong, even if what they did you don't agree with, you should have to pay them for taking their stuff. That's what I believe. You can argue with me in the comments. Another thing, speaking on taking people's stuff, I seen this video where John B is being a little, to me, it's being a little sassy because he's talking about how Gunna and Chloe, they redid his most famous song, and he's saying that he didn't get no no compensation for that.
No, but no, it does get sampled every year.
Sure.
You know, by someone. Last year was Gunna and Chloe Bailey.
That's right.
They put that Ratchet record out that I couldn't stand.
Oh man.
And I wish they never did.
Man.
And actually never got my rights to do that record either. So we gotta holler about that.
And why I say it's sassy is because the way he said it in the camera, like, I hated that song and I ain't even get no money off of that. Like, it just felt like he had a little attitude with it. But I don't think that he's wrong. If he didn't get paid for it, he should. But I also seen an interview with Joe Budden on the Joe Budden podcast where it said he doesn't really own a lot of his masters or publishing to his songs. So
we working it out, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna.
See what I'm saying?
But we in the process of working everything out. But you know, it's 25, 26 years later, and you know what I mean? I still haven't been paid a check for my records. You know, gotta work some things out.
Wait, you ain't been paid a check from what record?
From any of my records.
Oh, now let's get
What?
it. Yeah. Now
John B, shut up, man.
Nah.
John B.
No, they still have
John
to
B,
pay.
I will walk out of this room.
No,
Why do you
they
think
still,
he lying?
They still have to pay.
That sounds believable.
Every record?
That sounds believable.
Every record, bro.
Nah, there's some type of check.
No, I get checks because I do shows, but I don't get paid for my records.
So I don't know if that was the same case, and that's the reason why the Gunna and Chloe song didn't like give him any compensation for it. But again, what happens when you take somebody's stuff, or you take somebody's experience, or you take somebody's song or somebody's story and you use it for your own. Sometimes people are going to agree with it. Sometimes people aren't. And that's why people end up going to court and saying, oh, copyright infringement and all of these things, because you're taking people's stuff and not compensating them for it. And I don't think that's right. And other entertainment news, I seen on Twitter that Ryan Reynolds shouted out Wesley Snipes for being like the pioneer in the Marvel MCU, like in their success. And I just wanted to say that was fire. Show Wesley Snipes love, because he is a part of the reason for the success of Marvel and MCU and everything. And I think they should give him a good send-off like they did for Wolverine with Logan. I think that even with the new Blade movie, they should incorporate Wesley Snipes a lot, bro. Just show him that love, bro, for what he did with the franchise and everything. I just think he deserves that. So shout out to Wesley Snipes. He's a pioneer, black success, black excellence. Shout out to him. He's a great actor. The last thing I want to talk about is Adin Ross and Trump. I know I should probably talk about this earlier, because this is probably like the biggest timeline, the biggest story, but how have we come to the point in society where clout and social media rules everything? It rules politics. It rules everything. It rules how people make money. It rules people's daily life. And I'm not mad that is happening. I'm just saying it's crazy how we got to that point in society. Did you ever in a million years think that a former president, and a current presidential candidate will go onto a streamer's platform and have a sit down and conversation with them? I never thought that. I never could imagine that. I don't even think Adin Ross imagined that would be something that he would be doing in his streaming career. But it don't matter what you could have imagined. It matters that you believe that you could do the impossible, because I don't think Adin thought that he would be doing something like this. And I don't believe that the next Adin or the next Kai is even fathoming being the next Kai. So all that showed is that clout, entertainment, pop culture is what moves America. And all it shows is that if you believe, anything is possible. In fucking 3 to 5 years, I could be sitting down with the next presidential candidate if I just work hard and make my platform big enough, and I have enough clout and essentially power to get them on there. Because Donald Trump has to think that Adin is providing him something as well if he's going to sit down with Adin. And then the nigga Adin Ross bought Donald Trump a fucking Cybertruck. Like, Donald Trump don't have money and he can't buy his own fucking Cybertrucks or whatever. I really don't care about the political part about Adin fucking with Donald Trump. Fuck with whoever you want to fuck with. I was never the biggest fan of Aiden, so it doesn't make me look at him less or more. He's just Aiden. He's a streamer that has a lot of power, essentially, and has a lot of reach because he got Donald Trump, a former president and current presidential candidate, on his stream while during the midst of all the election stuff and everything. So it don't change how I view Aiden, and I don't really, I didn't watch the stream. I just seen the pictures of him giving him the Cybertruck and of Donald Trump walking out to many men. But besides that, I didn't see it, and I don't really care that much. It's just crazy how much social media has power and how much streaming and everything, how much power and weight it holds currently. The only thing that I don't want to happen out of this is I do not want Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party to try to get her on Kai's stream. One, I feel like it's copying and it's corny. Two, I feel like politicians are clearly showing you as obvious and as clear as day that the policy doesn't matter. All that matters is being able to look cool enough for people to like you. It's all about being liked. And maybe it was like that before, but now with social media, you could really see it. And that shit just comes off as poor, lazy, cringy marketing. But I'll end with that. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I said in the beginning, we just got the 30 subscribers. I thank every subscriber. I appreciate it. And tell a friend to tell a friend. We on the road to 50. Make sure if you're new here, you hit that subscribe button and you hit the like button. And you tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to tell their family to watch the ItsTony podcast. I'm Tony. Thank you for watching.